Today's topic: you are worthy of love, honor, and respect, and nothing less than that. We're continuing today with our series from The Answer is Love, questions to explore as we transition into an era of peace. The era of peace is upon us. The transformation is happening now. We are really, we are getting to that point in time where, there's been a choice to really do the work, to get on board, to choose this pathway of I'll call it the ascension into living in the vibration of unconditional love and peace and harmony with nature, and a world of compassion where we thrive together, not in competition, but in cooperation, in love and compassion and support of one another. We've given it a lot of talk and a lot of intention in this realm, but as the vibrations of the planet the frequencies are increasing, and we're evolving into this era, this time and space of unconditional love and compassion, it's more than just making intentions around it and setting out to live in this way. It is a shift in the global frequencies and the global vibrations. It's a shift in the mass consciousness and in all of the structures that have supported our lives and our lifestyles. All of the structures, most of those structures do not perpetuate a life of nonviolence, a life of compassion, a life of cooperation and caring for each other. The dominant structures that have supported our lifestyle have been competitive and have been a I win, you lose kind of thing, rather than a we all win. It's been a I want more, I want excess, and if I have it, it means you don't. It's been the contrast, the either or, more so than the we all thrive together in love and compassion and caring for one another. As we shift, these structures are crumbling, and there is a lot of our ideas, our programming, our patterning that cannot cross over that threshold with us into the era of peace. There's been a time where there's been a choice to get on board and choose to evolve to the higher frequencies. Now the planet is evolving, and that we're coming near the end of that choice point where there's going to be a shift coming in the very near future. And I'm talking weeks, months, where it's like a switch is flipping and we'll just be on the trajectory and going. So I invite you to consume these recordings, to do these meditations, to share with your friends, all who are interested in shedding the baggage and the old belief patterns now, so that we can transition as consciously as possible as the world is shifting and the planet is evolving and the systems that we have relied on are crumbling. We are going to a place that we've all dreamed of and that our inner beings are totally aligned with and yearn for. We're moving into that realm of consciousness as a collective, as a planetary system, cosmic realms. This earth body is shifting. And so we can do the conscious work and do it now, to live in peace now, and we can work now to shed those things that we've relied on, that we think of, this is just the way it is, it's the way it's always been, it's the way it's got to be. There's so much of that programming that is inside of us that we don't even realize. We don't even know it's programming. We just think it is what it is because it's what's always been, and that's all we know. But there's a lot of that, if we truly sit with it and allow it to unfold from within us. We see that it's been built on that competition and the cutthroat and the competitive, the either or, the world of contrast, the world of multiplicity, duality, where we're moving more and more toward that world of unity, unconditional love and compassion, caring for one another. That is where we long to be, where our hearts yearn to be, where our souls thrive. We're going there. So as we sit with these things that we've taken for granted, that have been a part of our subconscious programming, we'll see that they don't cross that threshold into that era of peace. And we can allow them to unfold and to release and dissipate from our consciousness, and so that the truth can emerge in every human being that was is the template of the human being. The Adam and Eve were created. And this is from the Sufi teachings, the breath of Source, the breath of God, breathed life force into the human being, and with that breath contains all of the knowing of all of the meanings of everything in creation, the divine meaning, the divine knowing of everything within creation. The truth is inside of you. It is the core of your life force energy. It is the breath of God that breathes you, that gives consciousness to your physical form, that beats your heart, that moves every move and speaks every word and gives you every inspiration into your heart. It is breath of Source within you, breathing through you and existing within you. It is your existence, and that carries the truth. And as we release all of the old programming that is not aligned with the deepest inner truth, that truth from within can emerge and become your existence, become your conscious existence through and through. My teacher used to talk about, until there is no inner and no outer, but there is only one. So as we release the blocks and barriers, as the poet Rumi says, your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers that you have built within yourself against it. So as we release those barriers and those blocks and allow that inner truth to emerge and become all that is within you, then it can merge with the all that is outside of you and become one with it, until there is no inner and no outer, but there is only one vibration of pure divine light, of unconditional love, of eternal compassion, of peace, of divine peace. So that is where we're headed with this meditations, this prayer and healing circle, these series that is focused on the answer is love, questions to explore as we transition into an era of peace. Today's topic, you are worthy of love, honor, and respect, nothing less. Nothing less. Our world has told us up until now that we are in so many ways less than, undeserving, unworthy, incapable, not good enough. It's given us so many of those messages, and that's part of the divine plan, because we've come here to travel this hero's journey or heroine's journey, and in order to do that we have to separate from the truth of ourselves and go on these journeys and travel through these life events and eventually hear that call from within, that divine spark that lights up and says, hey, there is something other than that is your truth, and your heart begins to yearn, and that yearning guides you home to the center of yourself where this truth resides, so you can reconnect with the knowing of yourself, having come through a transformation based on everything that you have learned and that your soul has gleaned from this life journey. The question from the book for today is about that ancient belief that even seems archaic, and I have to admit it's hard for me to even speak it out loud, but this is what came through. The question of, was the female created to be the weaker sex? was the female meant to be subservient to man? It's hard for me to even say that in this day and age, given where we've come from, where we've come to, but given on what we've traveled through, that consciousness is still very much a part of the subconscious template. Whether you heard it in this lifetime, and most of us have, and a lot of us are still suffering from it, still struggling with it, and still, we're definitely still recovering from it. But even if you didn't get that programming, and I'd say if you're of the younger generations that didn't get that programming in this lifetime, and I don't think anybody's escaped it. It's still here. It's still very much present, even though it's hard to say. In any case, it lives through the generational ancestral programming that gets handed down through the DNA. It's still a part of us, and we need to release it. We need to release the baggage from it. We need to also really connect with the truth and allow the truth to emerge from within us. And if you are here and you are not in a female body or not identified as female, you still carry, every human being carries the feminine energy. And there's still that stigma associated with the feminine energy being weak, being too sensitive, being somehow incapable and not good enough, not capable of certain life skills that are needed in order to survive on this planet, in this world that has been dominated by a patriarchal masculine energy of, the separation, the competition, and that. And we have needed both, granted, but we're really coming out of the separation. We're coming out of the greater than, less than. And I don't want to, I don't want to disregard that men also have struggles, and there are a lot of negative, untrue energies and concepts that are pasted onto the masculine. So I'm not saying that, not denying that, because there's a lot of that needs to go too. Today we're looking at the feminine and clearing out the feminine, and it doesn't matter whether you're in a male body, female body, or identified as male or female or any other. It doesn't matter. Anywhere where we carry this template about feminine being weaker, being incapable, being inadequate, being less than, being subservient, any of those kind of things, it's time to release the things that separate us from each other and from ourselves and from divine truth, and to allow the truth from within to emerge. So let's go ahead and come into our prayer and healing circle. It was a long intro today. Let's go ahead and come into our meditation and healing circle.